So I reiterate here, the bill is dead.
The story of this great city is about the years before this night. We are free!
Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Ho Ho Hong Kong. Hong Kong is kind of open right now. I'm sitting here with my favorite person in the world. What's your name again?
I like how you lie every episode. Like I'm like, when will he tell the truth? You're like, my favorite person on the world. I'm like, you either have no friends or you're like a great liar on the podcast. It is me, Vivek
it's the second
Mahbubani.
one.
That's right. The comedian that you like, but you can't say his name.
Yeah. Vivek, how do people find you online?
You can either type in my whole name and then Google will tell you we have no idea who that person is, or you can type funny Vivek and you will find me. What about you, Mo?
Let's stick to funny Vivek. No one will remember the other noise after your first name.
Right.
Vivek is good. It's just a short, it's concise,
Yeah,
to the point.
It's like it's not just one. It's not just like Viv. You know, it's like Vivek. It's like a little like, oh, I heard what you said.
Yeah, one of my good friends here, Vivian. I confuse you guys all the time. I call you both Viv.
Yeah.
It's weird.
We're pretty people. You know, it's hard to tell apart.
Yeah,
What about
you're
you?
both
Where do
equally
people find
hairy.
you?
It's confusing.
Good
I
choice
am
in ladies.
at the other Muhammad on Instagram.
Nice.
You know she listens to every episode. She's gonna kill me after
Really?
this. Yeah.
So that's Vivian, the hairy
Yes.
lady that you know. That
Yeah.
is a comparative level to my body hair as well.
Who also lives on Upper Station Road. Let's just, you just tell people where
Vivian,
she lives.
if you think this is bad, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you'll be shocked at the things he says about you. So I highly recommend you join us on Patreon and be like, what?
she also she's poor. I'm just gonna throw her right under the bus. She cannot afford Patreon.
Well, that's why her parents named it with the letter V, because like by that time the school doesn't even notice them when they're doing the roll call.
Right. Man, we did our first show. So we're recording on 24th of February, Sunday. And this is
All right.
Hong Kong.
Let's
quote,
take a
unquote,
moment now.
opened up. Yes.
Clearly Mo went out last night and he's like, today the 24th of February. So that's okay. let's leave it at that. Like,
Oh,
Mo, I
shit.
understand you performed and you're like over the moon right now, but come back to
Yeah.
planet Earth where today's date is 24th of April.
Dude, you know what's funny? I'm looking at the date. I'm looking at 4/24 on my computer and I still read it wrong.
Oh man, I'm glad you didn't read wrong the 20th of April, which would have been 420.
Oh no, not again. The only bad review, Jorge, we'll get to our guest in a second, but the only bad review we ever had, Jorge, was because Vivek made a joke about 420. And then some lady wrote a gigantic review on iTunes saying how offensive it is that we assume that everyone knows the 420 reference. And that like her stoner husband used to know that, and it was basically just like the guy hurt her and she needed to,
Yeah.
she needed to
It was bizarre because
Hurt
she was
someone
like,
else.
how dare you assume people are smart? Not everyone knows stuff. Assume they're idiots.
So anyway, we did our first show. So people who are following the comedy scene here, we did one show this year, which is the 1st of January. And then last night, 23rd of April, we did our first show back in Sai Kung, and it went really well. Shout out to Garen Chu, who ran the show, the Comedy HK gang. I was there with Bob Boptani, James Downs, Tim Toe, Ash James, and Kari Gunnarsson. And super fun show. I think I might have mentioned here on the podcast that like a year ago, I did the very first Sai Kung show and some lady attacked me. So
Oh,
literally
I
right
remember,
off the bat, like I hadn't even said
Yeah.
anything. And it's funny because she was not there, but a couple of people who were at this show came last night just to see me perform because they're like, you didn't really perform last time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised she didn't come back. I highly doubt she was a returning customer after
I
last
was
year.
kind of hoping she does just for the story. But at the same time, I
Yeah.
wanted to do my set. So I'm glad she didn't come back. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sai Kung is, it's a funny little village because it seems like everyone knows everyone.
Yeah. It's good and
Yeah,
bad, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like to know everybody in my building. I'm like, let's keep the mystery going on.
It's
Otherwise, if
also
I know
way
who
too
you are,
white.
Number one, yeah, that as well. But like, see, okay, before we get our guest, because I feel like we're already almost 5 minutes into the podcast. Our guest is just sitting there going like, so I'm here for
No,
what
actually,
again?
he doesn't know yet that we just want another listener.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually the
He
trick
will
of
never
your.
talk.
Yeah. We're basically letting him feel at home. We're censoring him straight up.
Also, he thinks he's a guest. Everyone who listens to the podcast is also a quote unquote a guest. They're all on video now.
Yeah. Oh man. So like I was saying, like the only reason why I don't like to know everyone in my building is that you get that awkward moment when you get in the lift, and then they get in the lift, and you're like, oh, what floor are they? Oh man, this is weird. I know who they
Yeah.
are, but it's just awkward.
Well,
Like, oh, which floor?
well, if you're your building, it's a little different because you live like you're one apartment per floor, right?
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
would be
So
really
even
awkward if
worse.
someone gets in your lift and then clicks on your floor. You're like, wait, you're going to my
Yeah.
house?
Yeah, I'm like, what? You can't. And that's then you're like, oh, I know you. Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that those are awkward moments. So that hence the reason why I highly recommend everybody live in like a desert where there's no other people. You won't have these awkward moments.
Hey, man, desert people are cool. Don't be racist.
Sure, man. Enjoy your sand.
Okay, so let's get to our guest. Today, we're doing something a little different because I don't know if you have been living under a rock for the last couple of months, but Shanghai is not doing great. So, as
Shanghai's
you
doing
guys...
Shang Lo.
Oh, no. Okay, mute Vivek, please. All right, that's it.
I'm sorry. I'll
stop. As you... a lot of listeners know, Shanghai has been my home from 2013 to 2019, and I've had a lot of friends there. I started doing stand-up there, and for the last maybe couple of months, our guest will get us the correct information, but they have been in severe lockdown, and most people are not allowed to leave their homes and all of that. So we're catching up with one of our good friends in Shanghai, Jorge Castellanos. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? I'm also on that same terrible last name thing, so Vivek, I get you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I listened to you on another podcast, Turner's podcast, and Turner, who knows you very well, said your name with 2 L's the first time.
He screwed it up so bad.
And I almost threw up in my... I'm like, how dare you say Castellanos? I can only like get it back to like his California roots. He's just like his white is really shining.
Yeah.
When he just says a double
States,
L
so.
as... Yeah.
Yeah, all the Asian traits he's picked up and everything have just like slowly faded away. They're like,
Exactly.
Get that out of my No, that's Australian. I was like, get out of my country. I'm like, wait, that's the other white.
Funny enough, he was in Australia when he was talking to Jorge, so maybe that's
you're
why.
right.
Maybe
That
Andy
works
bit him.
Yeah. Oh god. So Jorge, right now Shanghai, like I mean, I only read the headlines. I don't even read the article, and it's always like, oh, lockdown, people can't go out, dogs are locked at home, pissing all over the place. What's actually happening? Like I'm looking at you right now. You're still smiling, so clearly it's worse than the newspapers.
No, things are great. I don't know if you're reading Chinese media, things are going very well. Everything's fine. Now it's been what is it? What's today's date? The 24th. We've been on lockdown
24th of
February.
24th of February. We've been on lockdown for 24 days now, and things aren't great. No, we're luckily doing okay at my house, but man, there's some really miserable stuff going on around us, and people are bummed out. I know it's a comedy podcast, but like,
Yeah.
But this is 24 days, man. Like, okay, so here in Hong Kong, when we travel, before what they had is that you had the 21-day hotel quarantine, which obviously, can't compare with home quarantine. But like, people were losing their minds. They were like looking at the same wall thinking like, oh my God, I need something different in my life. At what point did you feel like, it's 24 days now? Was there a moment when you were like, okay, I think this is ridiculous now. Like, I'm sure the first few days you're like, home is all right, whatever. By the certain day, you're just like, God, this has got to stop.
I think it might be a little reversed because the first few days, because for people who don't know, what happened was they locked down one side of the river first, and they gave them a few hours notice for that. Our side of the river, Puxi, has had like 5 days notice, so we had time to prepare food and stuff like that to kind of get
Is
ready.
the other side the poorer side or something?
No, it's just
No,
like
that's Pudong. It's actually
Pudong.
the richer side in a way.
Pudong
Wow,
is like
that's harsh, man.
the newer part, the one
Yeah.
that's the side with all the fancy buildings that you see on the pictures of Shanghai and stuff. Our side is
But
the old side
also,
of the city.
Vivek, just so you know, like Pudong, if you compare it to like Hong Kong, people who live in Pudong, for us, it's kind of like people who live in Discovery Bay. Like, we're like, those people are idiots. Like, we don't...
That's why
Everyone who lives in Pudong, you're like, why would you live there,
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
not
So like,
it's
yeah, that's
not
true because
great. It's
if
for
the
like families.
Exactly.
okay. So they suddenly all of a sudden just said, lockdown.
Yeah,
What's
they're like
what's the
tonight.
Mandarin word for lockdown?
You know what? I don't know. You would think I would.
Jorge can just look across the room and ask his Chinese wife.
Yeah, exactly. What are they? What's that thing over there?
Joe Schaefer, a comedian who started with
Uh,
us in Shanghai, had this brilliant joke when he talks about, like, he points at someone. There's always a Westerner dating a Chinese girl, and he goes, "Oh, you know the deal. The best thing about dating a Chinese girl, oh yeah, it's access to Taobao." So good.
exactly. Oh man, that's
Jorge, I
actually
want
true.
I want to start from like somewhere a little different. I want to start with the last thing that happened that I know of from Shanghai, which is that video which happened 2 days
Yeah.
ago. Because I am obviously on WeChat, given all my time in Shanghai, and I have actually. I checked. I never looked at the number of how many contacts I have on WeChat. I have over 2,900 people, which is, I think, a lot of people. But anyway,
Yeah.
I looked at my moments, which for people who are not familiar with
Weird little
WeChat,
flex.
yeah. Well, I didn't know that,
I
like,
know a lot of people in Shanghai.
well, it's mostly like, random people who just add you, right?
Sure, yeah.
Um, but for people who are not familiar with WeChat, there's something called WeChat Moments, which is kind of like the timeline on Western social media. Uh, and then suddenly people started saying, like, "Oh, look at this video," or whatever. And I go on my moments, and almost 2,000 of the 2,900 people are posting the same video, which is insane. But also, I can't play the video. So, Jorge, can you explain to me what's happening there?
So yeah, there was a video that came out 2 days ago that's called like the Voices of April or something like that in English.
Mm,
And it's drone footage of the city, and it's just a bunch of people, or it's just a bunch of audio recordings of things we've all heard throughout the month of just like people begging for food, people struggling, people trying to get into hospitals but like being denied and stuff like some pretty intense audio. And someone just put it all together over this like eerie drone footage of the empty city, and something
mm,
about gave me goosebumps just thinking about it. Something about hearing them all together just kind
mm.
of made people realize like shit, this is like intense, like we're going through something really tough, and everyone started sharing it. And it was
How
getting
long is the
to,
video?
it's about like 5 minutes long. It's ironically not even the worst of what's been going on. There's been a lot worse. It's just a bunch of
Actually,
like sad calls.
it has been put on YouTube with English subtitles. So I'm gonna put it in the link description of this episode, so people can just click right on it. And I've seen it with English subtitles as well, so it's gonna be in the
Yeah,
description of this episode.
it's intense and it's terrible. I think the one thing that it was very cool to see, and I think a lot of even Chinese people thought. I was looking on Weibo and stuff with my wife. She was
She was
she
like,
was
"This word
translating
means
it for me.
that."
Yeah.
But she was explaining to me like just how everyone felt so united for the first time, I think ever, that everyone was like together on something and just sharing this thing. And the purpose was they were sharing it so much and uploading and re-uploading because it kept on getting deleted. So everyone kept
Yeah.
on. They worked all night to kind of get it back up. I
Mm.
guess the sad part of it is that it's kind of gone and people have moved on from it, which I was talking to a few people that lived in Wuhan during the first lockdown, and
Mm.
they had a similar thing where everyone kind of worked together. But as soon as they were released, everyone immediately went back to the toe in the line and just being like, "I think this was actually the U.S.'s fault." And so you're like, "I hope,
Oh.
Right.
I hope people don't fall back on that."
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So luckily, Mo, you said it's still on YouTube, right? The video.
It's still on YouTube. Yeah.
You can find it on
Okay. Oh
Twitter
yeah.
and
So
stuff too.
definitely. All right, definitely check that out. I'll check it out a little bit later after we do this recording. But yo, my goodness. So okay, so isn't that the thing though? Is that what you find in China is that you got people complaining, and then like within 24 to 48 hours, people are like, all right, well, life is good. Let's go back to things that they were, and we're all happy with everything. Like, doesn't that feel odd though? Because I'm sure with the lockdown, because I'm just trying to imagine the level of lockdown where you can't even leave your building compartment, and it's just like, whoa, hold on a second. Like that'll drive me nuts. How do you have friends who are basically at a point of just breaking down?
Probably, but like, people probably don't share that as much. We're just trying to help each other out as much as possible. Everyone's kind of created this barter economy to kind of survive, and there's ways to pay off certain drivers to get things delivered to you and all that. So people with means can get things to help people out. But the problem is, there's a lot of elderly people don't really know how to use social media or WeChat to get contacts, and there's people with no money that can't afford I mean, a watermelon, something. What I read, a buddy of mine ordered 3 watermelons, and it was like 500 RMB.
What?
Is,
Whoa.
that's a lot of money. It's almost like what, $90. I don't know what that is in Hong Kong dollars, but
I mean,
That's
also
like
you
that's
don't.
like 600 Hong Kong.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also, how important is watermelon when you're in lockdown that you spend 500
yeah.
RMB
When
on
you
it?
just when you are just like breaking down, you just want whatever comfort you can get.
Okay,
Like we've
that's
been
that's actually
sending
fair.
we've
I
been
mean,
sending like
if your
cookies
comfort
and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like if your comfort food is watermelon, you don't have a bad life. If that's already satisfying, I'm like, dude, you should be at a level where you're breaking down. You're like, I need a cookie or I need like greasy stuff. This is like healthy.
I
So
think
actually,
yeah, that is
I kind
wild.
of made a list here of things because I've been made a point for the last like couple of weeks since things started dragging on in Shanghai to check in on everyone that I know that I actually care
Yeah.
about. So if you're in Shanghai and I didn't call you, I don't care about you. So
Oh man, straight up. Oh damn. Okay,
Rough.
wow.
But anyway, I gathered actually a bunch of information. So first of all, you live next to Jing'an Temple, correct?
I live next to a Jade Buddha temple,
Oh, okay. All right. I
which
remember
is
you
pretty
living.
close to Jing'an Temple.
Yeah, because you overlook the Jing'an Temple. Like you can see it
No,
from your house or whatever.
I could see Jade Buddha temple. They look similar.
Oh, they do look similar.
yeah.
You see a bunch of Buddhist temple. After a while, you're like, all right, I get it. But anyway, I saw something really interesting is that like I have 2 friends who live on the 2 sides of Huaihai Zhonglu. So one lives behind IAPM Mall and the other one lives close to Yongkanglu. And the one on
Yeah.
Yongkanglu is allowed to walk out around on the street. And the one behind IAPM is entering her day 50 in lockdown. And that's like the one of the more strict lockdown, which is like not leave the building. And actually she messaged me last night having a breakdown saying that they're welding her gate. This is literally
Yeah.
just last night. So her lockdown is getting tougher, and the guy who lives 3 blocks away from her is allowed to leave his compound. They're both foreigners. Can you explain how this whole thing works?
So there's multiple levels to the. So initially it was all the same. Everyone was just locked in. I say locked in. There's no actual locks put on yet. You just couldn't leave your apartment for a certain amount of time. What they've tried to do is try to tier it, where if you don't have cases around you, you can technically leave your compound. If you have suspected cases or something like that, you have to stay within your compound. If you have cases, you can't leave your apartment. The problem is there's so many cases that almost everyone is on the most dangerous tier. My apartment, for example, for the last couple days, we were allowed to walk around the inside of our apartment complex. But as of yesterday, someone tested positive, so now we can't leave our apartments again.
Oh man,
Uh,
do you know who that
And
person is who tested positive?
Yeah,
like, I feel
it
like
was an
everyone's
old
gonna-
guy.
Oh man, I can see shame coming through soon.
No, it's gotten it goes through like different buildings have different levels of compassion, but I think most of the people in our building were sad for him because he's going to be sent to this camp to live 2 weeks of misery. So I think most
Oh,
people were
man.
like,
Yeah,
we're
get to
going to
the
be
camps.
locked down anyways. Like we're going to be
We'll
locked
get
down
to-
anyways.
Mm.
So why doesn't he just stay at home?
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's
So does
miserable,
that
dude.
mean we'll get to the camps? But does that mean, as far as I understand, that someone testing positive means an automatic 14-day extension for everybody in the compound? Is that correct?
They're doing it, I guess, technically. Again, you know how rules work here. That there's
Yeah.
a rule listed, and then
Mm.
there's what you actually do.
Yeah.
So it really depends, building by building, compound by compound. the way it's supposed to happen is they've changed it to where it's just the building in question. Now, in
Mm.
actual practice, that's not working that way because I have friends who don't have positive tests, but they have positive tests in other buildings and they are still on lockdown. So mine is physically in my building, so we're
Mm.
not allowed to go outside.
And that's 14 days from the day he was discovered. Or what's the
Yeah, I
period?
think so. I think it's from the day he tested positive.
Right.
And I don't know what day that was. To be honest, it doesn't even matter anymore because even if we could go outside, what are we doing? And we're just going to stand out on the street. There's nothing open. Everything's. There's really no reason to go outside.
Okay. The other thing that we have a pretty active Facebook. What am I saying? WhatsApp group for the podcast listeners. And there is a few in Shanghai right now, and they were saying one of the things that really stood out to me is that there is a lot of power in these community manager people, and as far as I understood, they're basically just IEs, like for just like old ladies. So
Yeah.
every compound or every building has a WeChat group, but these people, and I saw that video from the Italian guy who went viral, who was supposed to be sent to quarantine, and then he came back because they rejected him, but also his own compound rejected him. And I started asking, like, who's deciding that? Because legally you should be going back to your house. And they said, oh, it's the community. I'm like, who's the community? And it's just like some old aunties, basically. So what's going on there?
So you probably never noticed it before because you never needed to rely on them. But each compound, it's an old relic from back in the day where each compound has someone who's in charge of it to kind of see how things are going, making sure everyone's, and then more nefarious things back in the day. And there's a person who's in charge of your community, or multiple people. Mine's pretty small, so we just have one lady, and everyone's a
Yeah.
volunteer. It's just her and our security guards and a couple people to live in the building will help out and things like that. But no one's getting paid. As terrible as this all is, those people have been like relatively helpful. And in the last couple weeks, the people from different cities have been coming in to help and to help in quotes. But there have been people from other cities. There's been police and military that have come in. So everyone's kind of wearing those white hazmat suits. So it's hard to tell, is that a police officer or is that an old lady in a
Or just someone with really good skin whitening solution.
Someone who spent too much money in Korea.
you don't know if you're about to get
Yeah.
punched or it's an old lady trying to help you.
Okay, so that's the routine though. But then how often do you get the testing though? Is it every day? You go down and do a test?
This is also something that's dependent on your building. We get tested with the self-tests every day, and we haven't done the group testing in a while because that's one of the thoughts because cases have been going pretty steady and they've dropped a little bit recently, but not that much. So people are thinking that the only way we could be getting COVID is through that community testing or through which is more likely the packages
Because
that are being
otherwise,
delivered.
how is everyone getting it?
Yeah.
There's information out there that like because there's these special like passes you need to be able to go in and out to drive, and people are kind of sharing them, and it's most likely that those
classic
people
China.
have so people have COVID and then they're going to deliver you stuff, and then your stuff has COVID.
So
Well, I mean,
people who have COVID is
communism,
coming to
dude.
deliver you COVID.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, sharing is
Free of
caring,
charge.
buddy. Like exactly.
So okay, were you ever able to like come downstairs and pick up something from the delivery person, like hand to hand, or does he have to leave it somewhere and you pick it up?
So we can because we are lucky enough to have friends and connections and money. It's easier to get things personally delivered. It's still hard. Like we have to everyone's got the 50 WeChat food group. So you're like, oh, this guy does bread and this guy does chocolate and this guy does
Right.
milk and this guy does cheese or whatever. So you have all these
Wow.
contacts and you're trying to get him to go to a store to pick you up something. So he can't bring it to us. He could leave it at a table at the gate. Then our security guards will spray it down, and then they'll deliver. They'll bring it to us.
Now I've got a Freakonomics question. It's like, so what's the highest demanded food item that seems to be always scarce? What's the thing that you seem to have the hardest time to get?
Ooh, that's a good question. I haven't really been searching for anything. I'll tell you what the easiest thing to get is booze.
Yeah.
Alcohol is really easy to get.
I
You
mean,
can get that
that's
in like
not
30
so
minutes.
surprising. Yeah.
I mean, like what you're telling me
probably,
right
like-
now is going on.
Now, what's I would say the hardest thing, at least for me, to get has been like decent bread, but it's starting to become a little easier. And it really just depends. Do you have a connection to a guy or a girl who has these things? So certain people have had like cheesecakes delivered and all that stuff. So there's ways
Whoa.
to get whatever. It's just, again, I mean, imagine if you're making 7,000 RMB a month, and then someone's charging 600 RMB for a cheesecake.
Right.
You're not going to get one.
So let me ask
Damn.
this. It seems to me that the best case scenario for anyone in Shanghai right now is to own a store, because not just that you'll be outside, you're making a ton of money. Is that correct?
That, or be someone who works in the food distribution channels, because there's been lots of stories of them taking the food and then
Yeah.
selling it to grocery stores and kind of being a
Nice.
middleman. And
Nice.
so there's been
nice,
a lot of
nice.
like really bum. It's a
So,
bummer.
right
how
now,
Yeah, sorry.
right now, this sounds like everyone's got their own dealers. It's like literally everyone is trying to like Psst, I got some bread, dude. I got some newly sliced bread. It's fresh cut.
That pretty much that, plus like there's all these there's these community buys. So like if you look online, there'll be a restaurant that'll be like, we'll deliver you burgers or whatever, but you have to order 4,000 RMB
50.
worth of burgers.
Right.
So
That's
you
crazy.
order 4,000 RMB worth of burgers, and you hope that your community says, I'll take one, and then everyone splits it.
Yeah.
But you can't just like order
Wow.
a burger.
Yeah, because I like the people on the WhatsApp group are saying that they ended up like getting stuck with like ridiculous amount of some product or another. One person in
Yeah.
the WhatsApp group was saying that she has 20 kilograms of oranges now. Looking for like ways to just like,
What are you,
do
a
I do with all
pirate?
this orange?
What the hell, man? You're like 20
Not
kilos of
getting
oranges.
scurvy on this trip.
Yeah, exactly. Vitamin C
but-
overdose is like just comes at too good now.
But do you know, Jorge, do you know how the law works when it comes to like having a store? Like, who's allowed to open their store? So let's say you and I are partners in a coffee shop. Are we allowed to just go to our work every day and deliver, or how does it work?
No. Basically, no.
Okay.
There are people who are, I don't know, man, because there's these like passes you can get to be able to go outside, and it's usually it's some special police license to be able to be on the streets. Most of them are like delivery drivers on their scooters and stuff, but certain people have. I'm assuming what it is. Because again, it's hard to even tell because you can't go see what people are doing. A lot of people are just, because these drivers and stuff, because they're outside, can't really go back to their apartments. So there's been video footage of like delivery drivers or these people that work in these bars or whatever are sleeping on the streets because they can't go home.
Damn.
Their community won't let them in because they probably have COVID. So there's we can't see it because we can't go outside, but there are people who have been able to go outside have gotten some footage of like just a bunch of people sleeping in like sleeping bags on the street because they need to make money and they can't go anywhere.
Someone needs
So-
someone needs to deliver a room to the delivery person.
There are people like sleeping in tents and stuff. It's crazy, dude. Like, and they've opened up there was a video that went around yesterday of, I guess they ran out of places to put people with COVID, so they've set up like a tent community out on a street.
Oh,
It's
look,
just-
Shanghai is becoming so progressive. It's becoming like San Francisco.
Yeah. Oh man, I
No
bet you all the
heroin,
kids
though.
over here
Yeah, yeah,
Not
that's boring.
that you know of. The delivery guy just didn't contact you.
Do
Oh, I
you
need to
think the
find that
guys
guy,
who are,
yeah.
who are sleeping in those tents are doing like glamping videos?
I would imagine no.
Like TikTok
You have, like,
style.
Yeah, you have a whole bunch of TikTok accounts, but like, deliver this bread to this guy, but this fool doesn't realize I took one slice away. 12 slices became 11.
It's got to be surreal
Okay.
though, because they're able to sleep out on the street and not like be bothered. Like there's no one to like steal from you or whatever. There's
Right,
it's
right.
just
Yeah,
like
there's
you're
nobody.
in control.
I mean, to be
That's, like, the
fair, like
biggest place.
Shanghai, like living in Shanghai or even Hong Kong, like kind of spoils you in terms of like lowering your guard when it comes to security, because you
Yeah.
can, even in normal days, you can sleep on the street in Shanghai and nothing will really happen to you.
It is wild. That is.
Yeah,
that is,
it's crazy.
Really? Oh, wow.
I may have done
yeah,
I
that
would have
in the
never
past.
guessed that. Wow, I would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
never ever guessed that. Like,
No, I remember passing at 7 years in Shanghai. I passed out a couple of times on the street. You just wake up the next day and then you move on. You just go to like a bench in a park and you're like, whatever.
but would you say that's specific to, let's say, foreigners and stuff? Like, if you were more
No.
Chinese, do you
Shang-
think?
No.
Yeah?
I honestly think Shanghai has to be the safest city in the whole world. Like it's great. You could
Man,
leave your
I
phone at
agree.
a table
Yeah.
and then come back 20 minutes later and your phone's still at the table. Like it's
Yeah.
Well, it's one of two things. Either number one, it is the safest city, or two, you have a really shitty phone. Everyone's like, oh, I'm not touching that one. Man, I can't believe it, because like, I really feel China should bank on the fact that if Shanghai's so safe, it really would help with the whole campaign of just showing people, like doing these social experiments of just people lying on the floor and be everyone going like, yeah, that's okay, cool, no problem, we'll walk around them, that's all right. Because like that image is definitely not portrayed for a lot of people who, when they think of well, especially now with Shanghai, no one's going like, yeah, it's safe because you can't even leave your house. Duh.
I think
Um,
they don't do a very good job at promoting that, but I think most people that have been here would say, especially women. Most women I know will be their gripe with leaving here is then they move elsewhere because you can be safe on a street at 3 a.m. drunk, whereas in Hong Kong I love it, but it's not. I don't know if I'd want to sleep on the streets of some parts of Hong Kong.
I mean, that's not. That's actually not entirely true. Like, of course, some parts in Hong Kong, but I will argue that some parts of Shanghai as well. If you go to like Yangpu, you're not gonna walk on the street drunk, like with your guard down, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But
So
I
it's the
wouldn't
same.
go
Like,
to
but
Yangpu anyways.
downtown Hong Kong, yeah, exactly. But downtown Hong Kong, anywhere like Soho or whatever, it's exactly the same like Shanghai. I haven't lived in both places. It's exactly the same. As a female, you walk around drunk at 4 a.m. It's fine. The only important thing is that you always have to have your face mask on,
Yeah,
because
that's the
otherwise
thing.
you get in real trouble.
Yeah, forget the mugging, man.
Yeah.
You get the fines, dude. Like, oh my god, I saw
Really?
your full face. Put that back on. Oh yeah, they're hard on this. Like, if you get caught, let's say, playing basketball, and like gravity pulled your mask down, bam.
Really?
Jeez.
Jeez.
Forget getting. Yeah. It's hard, man. Like, we've
Just
had
recently
people
or
talk
the
about
whole
how-
time?
No, the whole
recently
time.
even more so. The whole time,
Yeah.
yes, but recently even more so. They just enforced it like way more recently. For some reason, they're just like, everyone's enjoying themselves. No, we can't have that anymore. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's what's been going on. Now, I'm really curious about this. Everybody, like, normally when you go through these sorts of traumatic experiences, you only have like this light at the end of the tunnel experience where you're like, okay, you know what? When everything's open up, I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to cherish my life much more. Time is precious. You never know. Have there been like those moments, where you're just like, you know what? I need to value my time better. When I'm free to walk around, I must visit more countrysides. Have you had any of those moments?
I wish. I
No.
probably should have. I think most people. I don't think people are even thinking. There's two things. One, I don't think people have any light of the end of the tunnel yet. So there's no like, when's this gonna? Oh, this will be over soon, because it won't be. The second part is so many foreigners and Chinese are leaving or planning to leave that it doesn't seem like. I think most people's light at the end of the tunnel is not being here, which is a bummer, because then now the fear is like when it opens up again. I've already had friends that just took off, so you're like, oh man, this
Yeah.
sucks. Like once it's over, I'm not going to see my friends. Like,
Right.
But do you know
Actually,
where
that was
everyone's heading?
gonna-
Like, even in Hong Kong as well.
Yeah.
Like, do you know where most people are heading? Just head back home, or is like everyone's going to the typical route of Singapore?
I the people I know have moved home, but there are there was some that Shanghai did a poll of like people leaving. Some like 80% of people are like considering it,
Mm.
and a lot of it is like going to Southeast Asia and things like that. Probably trying to keep this. I imagine Thailand and Vietnam are about to get a lot more teachers, um,
Mm.
so it's
That makes
probably
sense.
more of that.
Actually, yeah, that was gonna be the next on my list. We still gotta talk about the quarantine camps a bit, but before that, on the topic of people leaving, so the avenues for people leaving is quite complicated as well, in the sense that if you, Jorge, want to book a flight home for next week, it's not exactly that straightforward, right? Like you might probably won't make it to your flight.
So the cases I've heard of people, you can get to your flight, but again, um, this has been one of those things where I saw a Chinese person online the other day say they're more so than ever they've been made aware of the gap between the poor and the rich,
Yeah.
because if you want to go to the airport, you can. You're just going to end up spending almost the same amount as the flight to get to the
Oh my
airport. It's something.
god.
It's like 2-3,000 RMB to like get to the
Oof.
airport.
So did they what, fly with a helicopter to the airport?
No, it's just some guy in a car. Just because it's hard to get over there, and people are charging a ton to get there. So
But okay,
if you
not
want
to
to,
get overly political here, but what you're saying is that for this amount of money, you can for lack of better words, you bribe your way to the airport.
I don't know if it's bribe as much as these people aren't willing to do it unless they can get paid. I think it's more a capitalism thing where people are like, well, I can make a ton of money because I'm one of the few
Mm,
people that can do this.
mm,
So I think they're just like capitalizing on the fact that they can make a ton of money. There are drivers and stuff like that. I'm sure there's ways to get it cheaper, but like
mm.
the people I've talked to, it's been thousands of RMB to get a van and get your luggage in and send you. The problem is once you get to the airport, you can't come back. Pretty much, your community won't let you in. So if your flight's
Right.
canceled, you're screwed, and you're staying at the airport, and the airport has no food, nothing's open, so you have to bring your own food.
Which goes
And
back to that screwed up idea of putting so much power in the community manager's hands.
yeah,
Because let's say you go to the airport, your flight gets canceled for reasons out of your control, and you're just homeless now.
but I think a lot of it's also people in the compounds, which I get it, like trying to take care of you and yours, but people don't want you to come back because they're like, if you come back and you have COVID, you're screwing me into having 14 more days at home because of your
Right.
decision.
Yeah.
So it sucks, but like it's the gamble you take to try to get out. But for the most part, people are getting out. There might be like you might have to spend the night if your flight's canceled to get a flight the next day or something. But people are getting out relatively fine. And the U.S. has a thing now where they've until May 11th, as an American citizen, you can leave China without having to get the 24-hour COVID test, just to be able to
Okay.
like fast track you.
Mm.
So you can technically, I can go to the airport now without having to get checked.
Did you get any help from the embassy at all? Like, is the embassy in touch with American citizens or no?
They'll send you things like, hey, this is a tough time, but they did like a town hall on Zoom, and they said like, we basically have no uh we have no say in what happens in
Mm.
China. It's not our job. Like we can't like change their laws and stuff. So if you're here, we'll try to help you if we can, but you know, just follow the rules basically.
But they also
Smart move.
recommended their own staff to leave Shanghai. Is that correct?
Yeah, there were like I guess it was mainly non-essential people that don't need to
Mm.
be there just to get out. Um, and, it makes sense because it's not like these offices are open and probably won't be open for months. So, what's the point of them sitting here? And
So
they
my
can't help
friend,
you.
with the sealed gate, I just went back to her messages because that was late last night, and she was like, I'm worried, blah blah blah. And then I'm like, what's going on exactly? She said those are her exact words. They sealed some buildings, fixated the doors, and they closed some neighborhoods with metal fences. Do you know
Yeah.
anything about that?
Yeah, I assume she lives in Shanghai.
Yes.
If Shanghai is doing pretty poorly, um, like or in the sense that they have a ton of cases. Something like I think by now I don't know what the number is, but last time I checked, something like 1 in 70 people in the city have COVID, and then in certain areas it's like 1 in 20. The
Right.
compound right next to me, like the old lane houses, there were so many people with COVID that they took out the people that were negative because there were fewer people.
Oh man.
Yeah, wow, that sucks. It's like you're at home, they're like, get out. You're like, but I've been a good boy. I don't have COVID. Like, no, that's why you gotta go. It's like, what? Somebody cough on me
Apparently-
now.
Apparently, they get to go to a hotel and not a camp, which,
Right.
you know, but
Right.
you're
So
still
wait,
being
who
taken
gets to
away
go
from
to a
your
hotel?
stuff.
Positive or negative?
I'm assuming. I mean, the positive people are going to camps, or I mean, it started off with you go to the hospital, then those got full, and then they got to the hotels, then those got full, and then they built these like giant, beds everywhere all over across the city. So by this point, you're probably in a camp. But to answer your question
Now
about
I'm curious.
oh sorry.
Go on. Yeah, continue on.
To answer your question about the fences and stuff, they started fencing people off and putting gates up. What they changed it a little bit in that they've made it to where instead of putting just a bike lock around your door, they're putting this like fence around your door in certain areas, and other places are still getting bike locked. To
Someone slipping
make
through
sure
the
no one
gaps
goes
for the
out.
door. Someone's like slipping. The door is opening slightly, and they're slipping through the gaps. They're like, put a fence on that. They can't get out of that one.
Yeah, you'll basically be able to stand in like the one square meter that is open, but like for
Yeah.
fires and things like that, which there
I
was
mean,
apparently
yeah,
a fire
that's actually a
yesterday.
good question. Yeah, a good point. Like, what the? So, because in that 6-minute videos, voices of April or whatever. So, I think one of the things that was said is like, if there is a fire, we'll die, basically, which you just brought up. Like, clearly, there is no consideration for emergencies when you're fencing people in like prisoners.
Well, I
There
mean,
was a
technically,
video-
doesn't that just reduce the COVID-related death rate? It's no longer COVID-related.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Jesus!
It's like that South Park episode. Yeah. It's like when they shot someone, they shot the black kid token. And he's like, it was COVID related because he protested the masks or whatever. It's so good. Anyway, Jorge, keep going. You're saying that there was a video.
There was a video. I guess I don't know if this was super recent or not, but it's hard to like fact check everything that gets sent around. But like, there's a video of people, a building burning, and then there's these like gates in the community to like block people off. So like the fire trucks couldn't get in. So it was a bunch of people trying to tear down these gates to try to get the fire trucks into the community. So
Oh my God.
yeah,
Regardless
it's not,
of if it was in Shanghai or not, that's horrible.
yeah, it's not the best thought out.
So
Not the best plan.
Let me understand this. So right now, you're in lockdown. You got the 14-day thing. Is there any rule like on the 13th or 12th day they announce that things are going to open up, or do you wait till the 14th day until they physically remove barriers? You're like, oh, they're actually opening up our building now.
Yeah, but you just kind of have to wait because the reality is, if another case happens, then
Yeah.
there's no like, oh, this will definitely be over in 14 days because we were supposed to be on lockdown for 4 days and we're on day 24 of a 4-day lockdown. So
Oh, man.
they just keep pushing the goalpost back a little bit because there's no
But then
real
these
way
are all
to know.
self-administered tests, right? Where you do the
Not-
test
not-
on your own.
Well, we do, but then you have to upload it to the system, and then like you do get regular testing, and you're supposed to, if you have symptoms, say something, and then they can test everyone. So we're getting tested today again because of that guy who tested positive. We'll have to go down to the community testing area.
But that brings me to the
to-
point is that I'm very curious. Like, what's your motivation to be honest, though? It's like, even in Hong Kong, they try to do the mass testing and told everyone voluntarily test yourself for it. And everyone's just like, wait, hold on a second. So if I'm
No,
positive,
but wait,
nothing...
Vivek, their rat tests are different from ours because Jorge, just to give you an idea, the government sends us rat tests here, But
Yeah.
we like as Vivek said, like we voluntarily should tell them the truth. But their rat tests, Vivek, have a QR code on them. They're unique rat tests.
Oh.
You cannot cheat it.
Yeah, the personal test, I
okay.
guess you could cheat it, but the problem is, I would imagine across the city there's thousands and thousands of people who have tested positive that haven't said that they're positive. So I imagine that's happening a lot. This guy was an older guy, so there was I guess, a possibility that he might be unwell or something. So he may have actually been trying to seek help. But there's other stories going around that people will test positive, say they're positive, test positive every day for like 6 days, eventually become negative, and then once they're negative, because of the huge backlog by the CDC, then they come
Right.
get you and take you to the camp,
Oh,
and you're like, but
wow.
I'm negative now.
Yeah.
So like,
There is that viral call with, I think, the guy from Germany who had a
yeah,
similar
man.
situation. Yeah. It was like a 30-minute call, and he was screaming at them, trying to explain exactly what Jorge said.
That was wild,
Because
dude.
that was so wild. It was also quite funny. Obviously, not for him, but it was funny to, see his reaction, trying to like just use basic logic and reasoning with these people, and they're not getting anywhere, and he's getting more and more frustrated.
Yeah.
It's insane. But okay, so let's get to the camp. You obviously, if you do test positive through the government administered test, you're being sent to camp. There is no question about it. Is that correct?
There is a way to fight it. It's not like I've had friends that have fought it and successfully have not been sent. But because of they're having a hard time because their community is really mad at them for that. And so it's not super easy. It's much more likely that you will be sent to a camp. But there are technically ways to stay at home, but most people obviously are being sent off to these camps.
How do you fight it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how do you fight it?
The Chinese model of just scream until you get your way. Just kind of just get angry and angrier and angrier. And there's a possibility being a foreigner helps in that sense, in that it might be easier for you to stay at home as a foreigner, because they don't want to deal with basically you causing a bunch of shit. There are a Chinese friend of mine has fought it, but it's been, when I say fought it, I mean they're still fighting it. It's not like I'll fight it and then it's over. It's I'm constantly trying to make sure I don't get sent away. But most people, I would say like 90%, 95% are definitely being sent off.
Okay, let's have that scenario. You're saying that you have a test today. Let's say that you test positive. What is your plan?
What would I do? Again, I'm lucky in the sense that I have people around me and people that work for me and people work around me that could help me potentially fight it in a higher up level. But then that's calling in a bunch of favors and all that stuff. Realistically, because I don't like confrontation that much, I would probably end up going. I wouldn't want to, but I would probably end up going just to, just because what else are you going to do? But I would end up trying to fight it as much as I could, But
Right.
All right,
who
so
knows?
if you have to go, how many items are you allowed to take? Are you allowed to take a whole suitcase, or just drag your person?
Yeah, I think most people bring a suitcase of stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll be a very cool unboxing video. All right, who's bringing what to the camps?
A buddy of mine brought a projector, and he was watching
Whoa.
sports and stuff on the ceilings.
Oh man, if I had a projector, I'd project like the Batman logo on a wall and just see what happens.
Of course you do that. Can you see? Obviously, we're only doing audio for the listeners, but Jorge, you can see Vivek's background, right?
Yeah, I could see a lot
That's
of
just like
lot
a
of
small
action
sample.
figures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You're only
exactly.
seeing the spawns and dooms. There's a whole layer of like Jokers and everything. So yeah, definitely Batman to the rescue. When Batman comes up, like, no, not you, Joker.
Vivek,
sure the
Vivek
ladies love
loves
that.
to brag about. I was gonna say Vivek loves to brag about how much he doesn't get laid. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Like all my funding doesn't go to drinks and food and dates, because little plastic toys that don't have any more expression than me.
Jorge, I'm kind of familiar with Shanghai geography. Where are these camps?
Everywhere. They're all over the
Everywhere.
city.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think there's like 300 plus thousand people who are in them. So they're everywhere.
Well, I mean, that's not
Okay.
too bad then. If it's like, let's say your next door neighbor, like the next door building is a camp, then you're kind of still close to home. You know, if there's anything, hey, throw me the bread. Maybe you could throw the
We're
bread. Yeah.
the school. There's two schools next to me on either side of my building, and they're both now quarantine camps.
Wow. Talk about
So-
people in
Actually-
the States saying stay in school. You're like, no, don't stay in school. Get out of here.
Actually, we're kind of running out of time, but I still have a couple of important things I want to squeeze in. One is the barter system, because, you know, as someone who lived in Shanghai for a long time, I kind of like the idea now that the neighbors started to give a shit about each other. Because, you know, I've lived there for many years. I lived in a bunch of compounds, different levels of like expat, not expat. And the neighbors, in a way, just kind of avoid each other. You know, everyone is kind of like, you know,
Yeah.
even when you say hello in an elevator, it's just awkward. And,
Yeah.
you know, having spoken to my friends, now they're like, oh, no, we know each other. Like my friend, the same girl, she was saying that, you know, she doesn't eat pork like me. So she's like, I send them my pork. They make me, you know, salads. And it's like, I'm like, this is kind of cool, right?
I mean that I wouldn't. I wish we would have met in other circumstances, but that has been one of the positives. Of just like, hey,
Yeah.
my neighbors are all right. Like these are good people,
Exactly.
and there's a couple cool
So
young
do you
people.
think that, yeah, do you think that's going to go on after? Or do you think people are just going to revert back to like ignoring each other?
Personally, I'll try to be friendlier. You've gone through something together and you've talked. Once you've opened that channel of communication and you know something about them, then it's harder to be like, screw you, I'm never going to speak to you again. But I think as a whole, one of the saddest parts and most depressing parts of this whole thing is how the second this is over, all those people that you thought were finally waking up are
Right.
immediately going to go back to toeing the line, which is a real bummer.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my second point about how I think, in my experience, that the average local person who usually used to be either passive or just like, you know, whatever about the policies and all of that are now for the first time, just like that video, when they're like, no, something is terribly wrong here. But I also feel that, as just like you said, the second everything is over, they're going to go back to not just towing the line, but just like ignoring whatever is happening. It's kind of like the first it came. How do you say it? First it came. They first came to
First
this
came
for
for them,
whatever.
and then came.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It was too late for me. Something like that, right? Yeah.
Something like
And
that.
I said nothing.
I
Yeah, that
agree.
was, first it came to them. Yeah.
The only wow, you guys are beautiful wordsmiths.
them got it first. I said no. Then happened me, and I was like, ah, damn.
You just
I
got to
said
give Vivek
booyah.
a Joker quote, and then he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Why so serious?
The-
Yeah.
They'll. I think the only possible upside to that whole thing is, you, Mohammed. You know that the people in Shanghai think that they're special comparatively to the
Oh yeah.
rest of the country. I think the only thing that's positive is that I think most people will remember in that they genuinely never believed this could happen to them. This was
Right.
something that happens elsewhere in the country. So there
Right,
is
right.
that possibility of people being like, there's a lot of educated people here, a lot of like high ranking people. I think they're for the first time in their life ever experiencing hardships. And that's going to be hard to forget. But I think out loud, everyone's going to just be like back to, because they're very good at making things go away and making people think about other stuff. It's, every government is very good at that, spinning things to forget about it and moving on to a different topic or whatever. And I think that's most likely what's going to happen.
And you personally, how I know you're married to a Chinese citizen, and how likely are you to stick around when things eventually open up? I know you have also a couple of businesses, right?
Yeah. It's very awkward. I've already divorced her, but we're stuck in the house.
Are you actually?
No.
Oh,
Damn. Whoa. For a second, I was like, oh.
damn it!
this
I'm
is
like,
not good.
that's a great Patreon story. God damn it!
Yeah.
Nah.
Could you just like maybe consider that option for Patreon's sake?
I'm gonna
Yeah,
divorce her
but-
after the once.
No,
she's
no.
over,
Can
I
you
won't get
divorce
divorced.
her? Wait. Can you divorce her on the Patreon episode?
Oh,
We
that'd
have
be so
both
good.
of you on.
Honey, we've been together for so long. I have something I want to tell you. Enough's enough. I tested positive. I'm out of here, bitch.
The likelihood is this has fast tracked me leaving, but because we have, like you said, I have businesses and stuff here. It's not just a pick up and go, so it's just gonna fast track trying to move elsewhere. The problem is, everyone who's like, I'm getting out of here and I'm moving. It's like that's romantic and cool, but you do need a job and you do need a way to survive. So just being like,
Yeah.
I'm moving, it's like, well, okay,
Mm.
but to where and how are you gonna afford to live?
I
I
guess
mean-
that's the thing, right? A lot of people who have moved, they kind of have to restart everything when you get to a new place. You're like, oh man, I'm flipping burgers. What the hell, man? Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
mind getting locked up at home then.
I've owned my own business for 5 years now, and just going back to the States and being like, hi, I would like a job, please. They'd be like, what the hell
Yeah.
have you been doing for 10 years?
Right.
Yeah, you're like stuff.
Jorge, given what you were saying earlier about like that you have more access and connections to we're getting whatever you want. Honestly, what is the most ridiculous item you are ordered for the last like couple of months or since the lockdown started?
We've been pretty we haven't really ordered anything crazy. I honestly, Papa John's probably, because that was like a pain in the ass to get. And Papa John's sucks. So, like,
Yeah, Papa John's
probably
in
that.
China is not great.
oh, it sucks.
Doesn't
And
deliver
you're like-
within 30 minutes, right?
It was old and cold and gross, but like it was already gonna be gross.
like-
But it just eating old shitty pizza and just be like, oh, cool, this is the same. But no, we
okay,
haven't really
last
ordered anything.
Last question before we wrap up here. It seems to me that from talking to people in Shanghai, it seems to me that the government has gotten themselves in kind of a pickle because there is really no way out of this now. People are now genuinely pissed off, rightfully so. And it's getting longer and longer. And the cases are rising or even like static right now, but still a number. But you also can't just like drop it because that also automatically means the West is right. And, living with the virus, they have said from the beginning it's not an option. What do you think as a Shanghai resident? What do you think the way is out of this?
There's a big meeting happening in a few months, and what do I know? The only thing I'm basing this off of is what other China authorities have said is that people don't want to they don't want to change things up before important things are happening. So it's easier to just stay the course because there's this huge chain of command, and you don't want to be the one that changes things because if the change is worse than what's going on now, then you're in trouble. And everyone's just trying to make it to this big meeting without having to get any blood on their hands, even though there's plenty of blood on
But
their
the
hands.
big meeting is in October.
Yeah. So I
That's
think
unsustainable for Shanghai, isn't it?
yeah, but I think they'll have to eventually they'll open up in pockets. Who knows, man? It's easy to like pretend like you know what they're gonna do, but who knows, dude? It could be you're in your mind you say, well, it won't be till October because why would you? That would be bad for the economy and bad for the city. But
Right.
this is also bad for the economy and bad for the city. So why who there's really no good answer because who knows, dude.
But like there is also like chatter on Chinese social media. I know it's heavily censored and all of that, but like there must be some sort of talk between the average citizens about how you get out of this, right? Or suggestions, or like maybe someone had a tweet or like a Weibo or whatever, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." Was there anything of this nature?
No, I think most people, not that I'm aware of, I'm sure there has been, but the majority of people just want, no one's, compare this to the first lockdown in Wuhan. And during that time, people were like genuinely scared about COVID. So they were willing to do whatever because they're like, I don't know what this is. Is this going to kill me? What's going like, whereas now no one's afraid of COVID and everyone's afraid of the repercussions of getting COVID instead. So most people is just open up and let us let us live, and then we'll deal with COVID as it comes. But I think that's the only logical, do what the rest of the world does. But you can't be like the rest of the world when you're trying to be special.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. You can't be like the rest of the world when you're trying to be special. It's a great way to end this.
That's a good advertising campaign.
Yeah, I want to get so on the Patreon. I think what we might do is to ask you about your day to day for the last like 2 weeks, because you live with a wife. You can't really work from home almost at all, and you have a fuck ton of time on your hands. And I want to get to how you manage the relationship and how did you not murder each other yet, and a bunch of other fun stuff. But we'll leave that to the Patreon. Jorge, thank you so much for joining us from Shanghai, man.
Thanks,
we really
guys. Nice
appreciate
to
your
talk to
time.
people.
And Patreon, for people who are on the Patreon, thank you so much for all the support. We have 40 Patreon supporters, which is super cool. And we also have buymeacoffee.com. If you enjoy what we're doing, you can just go on buymeacoffee.com/hohopod. You can buy me a coffee and buy Vivek a masala chai latte, because I'm racist. And we'll take that and we'll display on the next video episode we do. And catch us on the Patreon. Thanks, Jorge, for joining us from Shanghai. And see you guys soon.